Hello, everyone. Um, my name is Juan Vélez Johnson. I'm broadcasting from Florida Atlantic University Research Park, and our company has soft landed here a year ago. Sorry about that one. So I was saying that we are broadcasting from the research park at Florida Atlantic University. My name is Juan Vélez Johnson, and we are talking about today for some tactics that you can implement in your e-commerces to have a great season this Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Uh, our company is Basica. We soft landed here a year and a half ago, but we are in business since for 15 years. I think I'm having technical issues. Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. Uh, we're having some technical issues about the internet. So here we are again. I moved a little bit. So I was saying that we're going to share with you a couple of tactics that you can implement for your season. If you run an e-commerce, or if you have thinking about how to take advantage of this Black Friday and Cyber Monday season, um, I bet you that this webinar will be very helpful, because we are bringing some tactics that you can implement fast. That's the way we work, and that's the way we recommend our customers to perform or to overperform in their e-commerces. So what you're gonna learn today is three simple tactics, and I'm gonna share my screen right now, and to execute an amazing Black Friday and Cyber Monday season. So a little of context, and some, let's say, some e-commerces are facing, and because of the global context, the global economic uncertainty and inflation is affecting consumer sentiment. So people is uh, prevented, or is trying to avoid those kind of purchases that they don't find valuable, and they don't really need. Um, on top of that, the customer acquisition costs have risen and are historically higher over Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So prepare your budgets. We're going to talk about that um, in a few moments in this webinar. And buyers are also heading back to stores. So with in-store sales are growing 13% year off year. So e-commerce that probably saved most of entrepreneurs and companies' lives during the pandemic is now facing the head back to brick and mortar stores uh, in the customer behavior. However, we have some good news for this season, and particularly Black Friday and Cyber Monday season is still by far the biggest e-commerce opportunity of the year. Last year in 2021, um, the sales per minute were 3.1 million in the season peak. That's a great number, and I hope that most of you guys have your own chunk for this 2022 season. Um, the average cart size over the holiday period is usually $100 or more. And finally, 55% of customers were first time purchasers in 2021. So the season is also a huge opportunity to acquire, to get new customers. So this is our context. These numbers were shared by the Shopify staff a couple of weeks ago in a webinar we, as a Shopify Plus partner, attended. Um, so what are you gonna learn today, or what I'm gonna share with you guys today? Um, First thing is that unfortunately season started weeks ago for most e-commerce sites. But the good news is that we are still on time. We are going to share with you how to leverage on e-commerce fundamentals to overperform this season. E-commerce fundamentals for Basica are the product, the site, in the campaigns, and I'm gonna share with you what to do in each of the fundamentals. And finally, uh, piece of advice about prospecting and emailing intensively. So in the chapter number one, if you didn't realize it, the season already started, not only for your competitors, but also for your target audiences or for your target customers. 48% of US customers say they are starting earlier this season, even since June. So people started their purchases weeks ago, even months ago. Half of the cost of US customers, and the in 2021 first 3 weeks of November, the sales rose 10% plus because of supply chains issues. So people bought in advance, um, because they were thinking that the products that they wanted to buy um, were going to be out of stock. So on the side of your competitors, um, 6 weeks ago, it takes for a Google Ads campaign, um, it takes for a Google Ads campaign 6 weeks to get optimized. So probably those professional companies started their learning and the A/B testing process in their Google Ads campaigns a few weeks ago to understand what is working, what is not working, to scale with their budget in the season. So your competitors also started weeks ago, and brands say 43% of brands say they are running testing ads prior this season to scale up in Black Friday and Cyber Monday. um, but we are still on time. We have 3 weeks to go, and we can still implement successful and quick tactics. I also recommend my customers to be prepared in advance, to start working 2 or 3 months before the season or before the peaks for each industry. Um, creating the strategy, making the creatives, setting up the campaigns, starting with the email sequences, um, and to have all set to launch the campaigns or the seasons or the peaks with the job done. But if you still are working or are struggling into the preparation for your e-commerce to this season for this season, you are still on time to implement three quick tactics. So you're gonna leverage fundamentals to have this season or to have an outstanding season, which are fundamentals. Fundamentals, as I said before, are product, site, and campaigns. And that's the order. The first and most important thing is your product or service. If your product or service is a bad one or doesn't have a market fit, you are not gonna solve anything with a great site, nor with an amazing campaign. Probably you're gonna sell some units. Probably you're gonna have some success at the beginning, but after that, people will realize that that your product or service is bad or is not working, or has poor quality or doesn't solve their problems, and they won't buy again, and they won't recommend it to their friends. So your success will not occur that way, even if you have the most amazing site or the most amazing campaigns. So the product is the most important thing. But I know you guys, my fellow e-commercers, have great products implemented and have great solutions for your customers. So I'm going to check that mark, and I'm going to check that box, and I'm going to move to the three tactics that you can do on your product to increment your performance this season. First, try to get social proof, reviews, and testimonials. Testimonials, social proof, reviews are an amazing and a very effective asset that a brand can show to their target customers or to the target market. When you have great reviews, or when you have a great rating either in Amazon or Google, you can show to your new customers that other people have used your product, and your product or service performed very, very good. The new product or service were great and amazing for plenty of customers before. So it'll increase the trust of new people in your brand, and probably you are going to have a higher conversion rate. It happens the same with social proof, like those free press articles of you, or if a great brand mention your product or your website, or a celebrity naturally use your product and create some content about a recommendation or a social proof. And if you have a service and or a more specialized product, ask your customers testimonials. Ask your customers either in video uh, or written testimonials will work, and produce content around these three topics of content. Try to spread to the social media, try to spread in your website the social proof, reviews, and testimonials that you can get during these 3 weeks. If you have previous ratings and testimonials and social proof, use them and bring them to your social media channels and to your website. Um, the other thing, the other thing you can do is um, create amazing content of people using your product. It inspires people and new customers to try. I know that the fundamentals of e-commerce is to have product pictures or product photography in plain backgrounds, most of them white backgrounds, and just the product. But you can use people using your product in context or in lifestyle context to inspire new customers through your social media, or to use those pictures and videos as a support image of or video in your website. So you're going to have your traditional product pictures, and then you're going to have your fourth or fifth picture with this kind of content, showing your audiences to how to use, or how does your product fit, or how does your product go to the lifestyle that you are selling. And finally, last but not least, is to double check your inventory. I mean, this is almost an automatic one. Probably you are integrated with Shopify, but I have to say, because things happen, and when a new customer places an order, places an order of an out of stock item, and you charge their credit card, and the product is not delivered, it'll cause a bad experience. And you know what happens when a new customer experiences a bad experience, or a bad or a bad time with a brand. They will tell every single friend and family or relative to not to, or prevent them not to buy your website. So uh, check or double or triple check your inventory and remove every single out of stock item from your website. Do not sell the products that you don't have in your warehouse. Um, this is kind of the examples I'm mentioning in this chapter about um, the reviews, product reviews, Google My Business reviews, the pictures of your products in a lifestyle context, the social proof that big companies can provide about your product or service. So, as a recap, in this first item, which is the product, I said that the product is the most important variable of your business. Second, that you should use the reviews, social proof, and testimonials, and you should gather the you should gather every single from every single buyer or new customer their review either in Google or in your own site during these 3 weeks to get the maximum possible for the season. And finally, use those content and spread it all over the social media channels to increment the trust in your brand. We also mentioned about the picture or the lifestyle pictures to promote your product, and finally to double check your inventory. I'm going to move forward to the second item, which is the site. Wow. Uh, a website is a very complex asset that a brand has. Uh, it should be SEO optimized. It should have a great user experience and user interface. It should have great texts, pictures, and descriptions. It should have an easygoing checkout process. It should perform well in mobile. I mean, that's a very complex asset. And managing a website is a big challenge for every brand. That's why companies like ours exist, because we have expert teams that can take care of all the variables, all the features of a website. However, you can, as a user level, um, try to do these four things to overperform this season. First is get rid of distractors or distractions like other users also bought. And the typical example is the microwave. When I look for a microwave in Google or other uh, searching platform, and finally I find your website and I find the microwave that I like, I can afford, and probably fits into my house. Um, and I start the checkout process. I don't know why too many brands are trying to. Uh, Probably that's an uh, upselling strategy, but you have to use caution with this strategy because it happens what I'm gonna tell you. So I start to the checkout process, and when I am ready to place the order, your website starts to recommend me what other users also bought when they bought a microwave. So it recommends me, let's say, a blender. And at that moment, in that particular moment, I realize and I start hesitating or doubting about um, my needs. And I start thinking about if I need a blender or a microwave. So I stopped my purchase process and start thinking about uh, whether I need a microwave or a blender. So let's say I realize that I need more a blender. So I start again looking for a blender, and probably what will happen is that I will find a blender in other website. So I'm gonna buy the blender from your competitor's website. So you didn't sell the microwave, you didn't sell the blender, and you didn't get my data, my email, my address, and my phone number because a distractor. So I encourage you to get rid of all those distractors for this season because people is in a researching and purchasing attitude. So probably when they will buy a blender or a microwave or whatever, they are going to search in several sites, and you don't want to lose your customers when they already started the checkout process. The second thing is get the visitor's email offering extra 10% off or whatever, but leave the customer skip this easily. So use a pop-up with an offer for the first time purchase so you get the customer's email um, at the beginning of the navigation in your website. So it doesn't matter if your customers buys or not, but you got the email and you can integrate that email into your automation lists to have that customer buy later. But leave the customer skip that easily. Don't do those kind of marketing tricks where you uh, have the customer watching a video for a couple of seconds, or you almost force the customer to leave or to give the email, because that produces a very very bad experience, and it is understood like lack of transparency. So don't do that. Leave the customer skip that step easily. The third thing is create the Black Friday and Cyber Monday collection. Try to drive all your traffic to that collection. Finally, check out your filters and menus. I mean, I've seen very, very confusing menus and filters that people cannot find what they're trying to in some websites. So try to optimize your filters and the menus in your websites. Try to optimize the tabs, the names, categories. Try to have the most the a no-brainer menu that every single person that gets to your e-commerce understands what are you selling and how to find it. So work on that as well. um, and the third thing um, of our three basics are the campaigns. um, First thing is, if you don't have a great product or a great service that really solve a problem for a market, you probably can have a great website and great campaigns and sell some units. If you have great products, you can even have bad websites and bad campaigns, and you will sell uh, units. Don't try to fix bad websites and bad products with great campaigns. So I'm understanding that you already have great products, that you already have great websites, and these are the three things I'm going to recommend to you for you to implement in your campaigns for these 3 weeks. First thing is a don't. So I recommend not to create new campaigns for this season. Instead of that, try to use your prior overperforming campaigns. Even try to use your overperforming ad sets and bring or run your new creatives or your season creatives inside those campaigns or those ad sets, because creating a new campaign, even if you already have your audience or your platform or your content insights very good, understood, probably a new campaign usually don't have the traction that uh, yeah that 2 3 months campaign can 2 3 months old campaign can do. So try to use those campaigns, and integrate your creatives at the ad set level or at the ad level, because I bet you that you are going to gain um, a better performance if you do that. Creating new campaigns is good. Probably you're gonna get results, but I bet you you can have better results if you run your ads in your older and overperforming campaigns, because those campaigns are already optimized by the platforms, no matter which platform you use, either Meta or Google or TikTok. I mean, every platform works almost the same, and your older campaigns are going to be more optimized than the new ones. So use the older and the overperforming. Try to use those overperforming campaigns to set or to place your new creatives for the season. The second thing is use what you know. Platforms are launching new features and new functionalities to do better ads, but the season is like a one bullet shot. You only have the season and that's it. So try to use what you know. It's not a time to explore new things. Wait the season to end or start testing them right now, but not leave all your bets to the new features that you are learning about. Try to use what you know and raise or grow your knowledge about new features, not as a plan B. Probably those new features will work in the future for you when you get to know them. But right now, I strongly recommend to use what you already know. And finally, increase your bids. As I mentioned at the beginning, the CPCs will be higher. If you know what is a CPC, is a cost per click, and they will be higher for this season. Even they will be higher until probably first days of January. So stay higher bids for your keywords or for your audiences, no matter which platform you use to advertise your business. So finally, moving to the third chapter of this webinar, prospecting and emailing intensively, starting now. You know that your email lists are an own asset, and it's the way that you can reach your customers for free. So try to create great content to those lists content related to education, related to inspiration, and of course, promoting or marketing your products and services, and start sending emails 2 to 3 times per week until the Cyber Monday ends. So try to leverage on the traditional offering for the season, but you cannot send the same offer or the same topic 3 times per week. So you need to create, or you want to create, new content related to education about your product, or giving your customer inspiration with content that builds or helps their lifestyle or their lives. Um, and with this consistent and intensive emailing, you are going to make sure that you are going to be in your customer's mind for the um, for the season. So start sending 2 to 3 emails right now until the Cyber Monday ends, and that way you are going to be considered as an option for this Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Uh, After that, if the strategy worked, keep doing it. But if you had a couple of unsubscribes, uh, return to the normal frequency, uh, either once per week or twice per month. Um, but go back to the go back to the regular email schedule. And for the new visitors, during these 3 weeks, prospect them, ask them their email at the beginning before they start navigating your website. Ask their email with this kind of pop-ups that I mentioned earlier. um, well, those were our topics for today. Wrapping up, remember, season already started, but you guys are still on time. Second, leverage on fundamentals. Fundamentals are product. Use your social proof. Check your inventories, and ask for reviews, and spread that content all over your social media channels and your website to increase the trust people have in your brand. Second, your site start prospect as emails to the visitors. Get rid of distractions. Remember, if people are buying blenders, do not offer microwaves. So because you're gonna lose the customer and the sale, and hide your out of stocks items. And third, the campaigns. Work on those campaigns that worked in the past. It's not the time to test new features and increase your bids. Remember, cost per clicks are higher during these months. Finally, email intensively starting now, and not only send promotion, but also send educational and inspiring content through your email. Remember, 2 to 3 times a week until the Cyber Monday ends. And finally, I hope you guys have enjoyed this webinar. And I hope, or I'm inviting you guys to join us our next webinar in December 1st, which our topic will be the customer experience to increase sales. And probably I have a surprise for you guys. Probably I'll have a special guest, a special guest that uh, to 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 leave you guys rest about this Latino English, and my fellow guests probably will join to talk about this this awesome topic. I love customer experience, and I love the math behind customer experience to increase sales. Um, so join us for our next webinar. Remember following us on social media. And finally, if you need a consultation about your e-commerce strategy, no matter the stage of the funnel you need advice, ask for a free consultation. That's my email, and you feel free to reach me out. Um, so that's all for today. Remember, we're Basica, and we'll see you soon in our next webinar. Thank you for joining us. Bye bye.